Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about falsifiability, and my theory, or what I really want to talk about, is mental illness. And I work in the field, so I have some experience, and I think it's very important for people to kind of think about it a little bit. So I think it's very important when we think about falsifiability and developing a theory that will tell us what causes mental illness, which in turn will tell us how to basically how to treat it. So one of the approaches I want to look at is the biomedical model, which it focuses on the individual's hardware, where many mental disorders are conceptualized as disorders of a neural pathway caused by developmental processes shaped by a complex mixture of genetics and experience. Therefore, easy way to think about it is we are basically treating the individual like a computer. So there's a bad connection, there's a bad wire, and we want to fix it. So how do we do that? So the easy way to do that would be, through lobotomy, medication, things like that. So a good example of this that seems to support this is schizophrenia. Schizophrenia's genetics seems to play a huge role. If you have a first-degree relative with the disease, you have a 6.5% chance of having the disease. If you have one parent with the disease, you have about a 13% chance of getting it. If you have an identical twin with the disease, you have about a 40% chance of getting it. And if both of your parents have it, your risk skyrockets to about 50% chance, which seems to support this theory very, very strongly, or this way of approaching mental illness. But if you think about it and the criticisms, one of the criticisms is that there are no known biomarkers for recognized psychiatric conditions. It seems irrational to think that emotional distress is due to an underlying organism or disease or a bad neural pathway. Instead, it might be easier to say that a person's emotional distress might be emotional reactions to a negative life circumstance or an acute trauma. Therefore, we have to try to develop some kind of auxiliary theory. One of them would be maybe the biopsychoanalytical theory, which in treating disorders, which is very prominent in Western society. This theory approaches mental illness in a more holistic approach. It states that disorders tend to result from genetic dispositions and environmental stressors combining to cause patterns of distress or dysfunctions or trigger disorders. So in this approach, we actually treat mental illness physically, which we might do like electroshock therapy if we think it's appropriate, medications, but we also treat the other underlying things, like we also do therapy, we develop coping mechanisms to try to deal with certain situations that might be unpleasant. So maybe this is something that you might want to think about, your auxiliary theories. Thank you.